Hey guys, I am Caleb Holland.
And I'm Paul Gathingu.
And I'm Joshua Holland.
And welcome to the Group Sessions podcast. We are back for another week. This is the group. And today we have some special guests joining us for a session, part of, the Group Sessions family. I'm so excited to have them here. We have Shantal Dietrich. I'm actually still learning how to pronounce your name, your surname, because Funny was trying to teach me how to say it probably like Dietrich or something like that. But yeah, Shantal Dietrich. And and then we have Bohang. Yeah, so this is our special guest today. They on. And for y'all that don't know them, if you haven't been directed from social media and you don't know them, we have a young bio for each of them so you can get to know who they are. So first of all, like Shantal, also known as Slim, is a South African personal trainer. She completed a fitness qualification at the International Fitness Academy. Her drive and passion for the fitness industry led her to pursue independent personal training. Shantal's personal brand, Slim Fit, was born after she overcame personal body image challenges. Slim Fit is now serves as a tool to empower women through health, fitness, and self-love. She's also the director of My Life Fitness, a wellness company that provides wellness solutions to corporate companies. Shantal has been able to utilize her entrepreneurial skills to enrich the lives of many individuals around her. She hosts women's wellness events, which incorporate workout sessions, nutrition talks, and interactive discussions on topics that guide, assist, and empower women. Women's Health South Africa chose her as one of the top 12 next fitness stars for 2019, and she has also been one of the main fitness ambassadors for FIBO Global Fitness Africa, Africa's finest fitness and wellness lifestyle show for the past 2 years. Jeez. Yeah, she hasn't in a bad.
That is
bro.
crazy.
You women got nothing on this right now. You gotta step up your game now, bro. Go step up. And listen, I'm joining one of those booty sessions soon. I'm trying to get this.
Come through.
Booty ready for summer. You know what I'm saying? For real. And then Bohang Moeko is a South African actor, best known for his roles in The Scorpion, Ring of Lies, the drama series. You know what, now? I literally voice noted a friend and I was like, girl, you need to help me to learn how to pronounce this series name. And she sent me a voice note, but now it missed me. now it just missed me right now. But I'm gonna try anyway. Nobody help me. Is Tunzi? Am I right?
Yes.
There we go. Good job.
Hey, he played the love interest of Thuso?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who received 2 international Emmy nominations. Bang graduated from high school in 2006 and went on to study quantity surveying at the University of Free State, graduating with an honors degree in 2011. While working as a quantity surveyor in Durban, he attended the OCA acting studio, where he trained as an actor and appeared in a couple of independent films. He more recently has been seen playing Trevor on The Queen and Tabang on Housekeepers, both on Mzansi Magic, as well as Tepo on ETV Scandal and Lefa Matabane on the popular SABC3 soapy Isidingo. His additional television credits include Dr. Musoke on the American miniseries The Hot Zone. Bang has also been seen playing Glanga on the upcoming South African feature film Seriously Single. These are accolades, bro. These are accolades upon
Accolades on top of each other. Just stack them up.
Y'all gotta step up your game, man. Are you hearing this? Y'all gotta step up. If you listen, you guys gotta step up your game. And you're still in a relationship. Now that's the crazy part, and that's why we're talking today. And y'all are maintaining a healthy relationship. And that's what we're gonna be that's what we're gonna speak about today is how are we able to maintain a successful relationship while building as well successful careers. That's what we're covering today. Because many people, especially young adults, become very hesitant to get into a relationship when they're trying to build a successful career. I know, at least for me, because I always thought, relationships are distractions. I'm not trying to have a shorty that, I need to be taken out on dates when I need to be in a meeting right now, making this dough, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
that's true.
it's like, how do you balance this? Is it even possible? But y'all are making it work, and now we need to know how and how y'all do it, But I mean, before we go into that, first of all, let's take it back, right? Let's take it back.
Okay.
You have a fitness girl and you have an actor. And those are two different career paths, very, very different career paths. How did y'all meet? Take us back to how y'all even got together and your relationship and how it developed.
Okay, so actually, because the fitness industry wasn't really popping for me, I decided I'm gonna try out acting as well, right? At this time, obviously, I didn't know who he was. I don't watch TV, so I really didn't know who he was. So at this audition, I noticed this guy, and he looked super grumpy, and I was like, I ain't about to approach this guy. I was like, no, I'm fine. I'll just stay here and eat my Nando's, right? Always eating. And so that's where we saw each other. Well, that was the first time I noticed him. I know that he saw me quite a few times in the gym before that, and at events and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like pop bottles. And at the time he saw me at those events and stuff, I had a boyfriend, right? But
the question, I was gonna ask, why didn't he approach? But now, did you know she had a boyfriend at the time? Did you know what is happening?
Yeah, the few times I had seen her at the gym, she had a boyfriend. And it wasn't like a guy that I really knew, but when you know someone just from going to the same events or going to the same gym or whatever. So I didn't really know him like that, but I knew she had a boyfriend. And and another reason why I wouldn't have really approached her at an audition was because I was like, with me, when I go to auditions and work and stuff, it's part of my work. So when I go there, I'm going there with the mission and the focus of I wanna kill this thing and get this job. So it's not like I'm there to socialize with anyone really. So but even with that, I still managed to notice her, and then fast forward a couple of days, maybe a week or so, I was following someone on Instagram actually who she a mutual follower type of vibe, and then this person I was following was also into Herbalife. So she posted on her story, and I was like, yo, who is that girl? Jeez. And then I went back to the story. And she had tagged Slim in the story. So then I click on the tab and I go into her profile. I'm like, wait, this girl looks so familiar. I definitely have seen her before. And then eventually it clicked, and I was like, oh yeah, that's the same girl from the gym and from that. And so and then I shot my shot, right? I went Steph Curry with that.
Yay!
And
in the DMs, boy.
Come on.
In the DMs, in the DMs, shot my shots, and I asked her about the audition, because that's the last interaction that I remember seeing her at.
Subtle with it. You don't come in too hard.
Yeah.
Subtle, boy.
Yeah, you're gonna have an angle with these things.
Yeah.
You can't just go, yo, what's good?
Definitely. 100%.
Yeah.
So I used the audition angle to be like, hey, I saw you at the audition. How did the audition go? And she told me that it went well. She actually, I think she got the job, or she was in the process of getting the job. And so we started speaking about that, and eventually she
I gave him my number.
Yeah, she gave me her number, and we hit it off from there.
So actually met officially.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we actually met.
Yeah.
And so we actually met the first time, actually had a conversation in person, like a day before his birthday, right?
ended up being
yeah. So I told him, if you want to come and meet me, come through to my gym, obviously, because he was into the role that he was playing was a boxer, and I was working at a boxing gym. It was like perfect.
Snap.
So yeah, so he came through, and that's when I met him for the first time.
That's a God setup, boy. That's a God setup.
It was a Netflix movie.
You see what can happen.
It was crazy. It was crazy because I was when I met her, I was in prep. I was still prepping for this role, and it required me to do boxing training, and that's why I was heavy into the boxing training then, so that it worked like perfectly well, you know.
Look at that.
Yeah, so that's how we met.
Hey, God works in wonders ways. And y'all still wondering why y'all still single. Pay attention.
It's so beautiful, man.
But I mean, you know, I think it's so ironic when you maybe into a shorty like for a while, or maybe you into a guy for a while, and then or maybe they're your crush, right? And then you end up actually dating them, or you get to marry them. That's just like wow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I've been eyeing the shorty for a while, and now we started talking, and now she's actually my girlfriend. It's just like I mean, I don't think you can get over that. It's like, yo, it's like my girl. That's what's up.
Exactly.
Man.
It does have that vibe, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. So the thing is, how old were y'all when y'all met? Like, what age?
I was 20 at the time.
You 21?
No, I was 20. When we met, I was 20. And because we met in April, my birthday's in October. That year, I was turning 21. So yeah.
So I mean, that's quite young. I mean, that's quite young to meet the love of your life. but now it's a question. In your opinion, do you think that there is a right age to meet your person?
So there's a lot of misconception, absolutely.
I'd say no. I don't think age matters, to be honest. I think maturity matters. I think mentality matters. You have to be in the right headspace. And also your EQ matters. If you're not emotionally stable, you're definitely not ready for a relationship and to start building with someone. So those are the things you need to focus on. Yeah. I mean, you could be 18 years old, but already you so emotionally, you know, stable, you are mature, you are ready to build with someone. But I don't think a specific age matters. Because I mean, B's, how old are you? 8 years older than me?
7 or 8.
No, 8 years older than me. But I mean, we still manage to relate and we connect.
Because I'm maturity,
so age
and I found that like with women, it's like women they mature faster, so they like mindset is on a whole nother level. So now you can find a girl that's 18 is like with a guy that's like 23 or something, but our mindset is there. So it isn't like, you know, like you say, the maturity, the EQ, it's there, you know. And like, I mean, for me personally, it's always been like a thing of, okay, what if I meet the shorty now? But, and then over years and years, it's like, what if it doesn't work out? Now you spent like 5-6 years before, and you thought you're going to marry the shorty, but now that isn't the case. You know, you don't get married. But like you say, I guess it has to do with your EQ and your maturity and how bad y'all both want it, you know. And plus you have more time to build an empire together, because, you know, like take yourself and Bohang, it's like from y'all are young, but you're already building an empire together. It's not like, okay, we met at like 29, you know, and now we start dating, now we're gonna still get to know each other, then we get married, and now we quickly have children because we think we're older and we don't want to age too much, because then we can't take care of children, you know. So I think it gives you more time to like build a solid foundation so you can build that empire together, you know. That's what's up. That's what's up.
I think for females, because remember, females are more of emotional beings than men are. I think that's why females tend to think that they are ready for relationships at a younger age, but it's still the maturity and mentality part that a lot of females don't necessarily have, or they're not mastering those aspects of the three that I just mentioned, so yeah, they might think that they're ready, but no.
So, but now how do I know I'm ready? How does one know they're ready? Like, how do I know, okay, I'm ready to get into a relationship and I'm matured enough and I can handle it? Like, how do I know personally? Like, what, I'm ready.
It's a tricky one, eh? It's a tricky one because it's different in every case, because also it goes down to how you are brought up and raised. And because how you're brought up and raised is that's where you first learn about relationships. What you see in your house is what you first, that's your first experience of relationships. How you see your parents interact, if your parents are together.
Yeah.
That's your first example of love, of a relationship. So sometimes what happens is that when you have that great example, your emotional maturity and your standards and expectations from a relationship are balanced, and they happen to be high enough because you have been taught and you've witnessed a stable and balanced relationship where the two partners are equally yoked, the two partners support each other and love each other the way they're supposed to. Whereas sometimes and it happens a lot these days, where young kids grow up in broken homes and they don't experience that example of a relationship in their homes, so they seek it outside.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of young girls these days, they get into relationships early, and they get into a lot of relationships because what they don't realize is they have daddy issues, basically, because or whatever other issues, but a lot of times it's daddy issues because they're looking for someone who can give them the love that their dad was supposed to give them growing up. They're looking for someone who will validate them and give them the value that they were supposed to receive growing up in the house already. So when they go out and seek men and other boys, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for validation, and that's why they look for it a lot of times in the wrong places, and they misinterpret a dude giving her attention. They misinterpret that as validation and real love or whatever it is, and that's it ends up being a vicious cycle until they learn to appreciate and value themselves.
Yes.
And then they're able to make, okay, cool, these are my standards. I will not compromise standards just because I want attention or validation or whatever.
That point, like for me, to be honest, I wasn't even headspace of I wasn't even there. I was like, I don't want to be in a relationship. Ask him. We were friends for quite a while before we started dating. I was not interested in getting into another relationship because I felt that I'm working on me first. And I felt that if I'm not whole on my own, I'm not going to be able to be basically be myself in this relationship. I'd always want validation from this relationship. I'd always want that other person to make me happy, whereas you should be happy on your own first and add to that person's happiness. That person should add to your happiness. So for me, I was not there. Hey, I chose to be celibate, and celibacy is a choice, you guys. Even if you're a virgin, you have to choose to be celibate, to commit your body to God. So that was me in that space when I met B. I was so straightforward with him. I was like, this is where I'm at. I don't want to be in a relationship. I'm celibate. Like, I'm just focusing on me, my mental health, my spiritual health, my physical health, and also my emotional health. And, our friendship is what blossomed because also I was so honest with him from the get-go. And honesty is a big thing in relationships, you guys. Not just, a relationship with your significant other, but in all relationships, with friendships, business relationships. So yeah, I think the fact that I was so strong in who I was, God was just like, okay, cool, you're ready now. So I'm sending this man your way. So yeah.
Because you worked on yourself. Because we have to ask ourselves, what do we bring to the table? So many people want to get into a relationship to fill a void, to feel that love, like Bohang says, that acceptance. And then they haven't even worked on themselves, so they don't even know what they bring to the table. They don't even know what, okay, like you have to ask yourself before you go into a relationship, you have to be like, okay, what do I bring to the table? What value am I gonna be adding to this man's life or this woman's life? What value am I bringing? Am I just there to take? Because that's where it becomes draining, and you can find that the relationships can become really draining. It's like I'm pulling out of you, pulling this, love. And many times I've experienced that. Then I learned that maturity of, it's nah, man. You have to be bringing something to the table. It's not what he can do for me or what she can do for me, but what can I do for them to better their life?
100%.
Yeah, man.
But also to be able to better someone's life, you also, the first person you have to take care of, like you said, is yourself, because you can't pour from an empty cup. So the cup has to be full. You have to keep filling your own cup so that you're able to add value to someone else's.
That's powerful.
Gotta work on yourself and your personal life. Gotta work on your you mentally,
Definitely,
emotionally, like where's your EQ at? Where's my mental health at? And I love how Shantal says she was honest from the get-go. She was like, listen, dude, this is where I'm at. I'm working on myself, and you need to know that. You know what I'm saying? So
I think for me, I was like, okay, if he's not gonna accept that this is what I'm going through right now, this is what I demand, these are my standards. If he's not gonna accept these standards, then he's not the one for me anyway.
Yes. Yeah, because when you come into the relationship, you want to see her succeed. You want to see her go up. So if you come in already and you expect that she has standards, and then it's gonna work, because at the end of the day, you can bring so much to the table, but when you're able to see what she's working on herself, and she has her own, she's independent, like we can't be going into relationships where y'all are both relying on each other for everything. It needs to be that certain level of independence. And not to say we don't need each other, and because that's why you're together. You here for each other.
I think what you're meaning is you need to be interdependent. So like you need to be independent but dependent at the same time. Oxford is shaking. Yo, Oxford is shaking.
Yeah, man. Yo, definitely.
And that's true even for happiness. A person that I really look up to, and I've looked up to like my whole life, is Will Smith. And he was saying, he was talking about his marriage with Jada, and he said to her one day, look, I'm retiring from making you happy,
trying to
make you happy. Like, it's not, and he said, like, it's not your job to make someone else happy. Your happiness is your job. Their happiness is their job. And when you're both working on yourselves, it goes back again to the cup. When you're both working on yourselves and you make your happiness your own job, you are then able to add value to someone else's life because you've worked on yourself and your own happiness. So you can't go into a relationship looking for happiness, because people will always be people, and people will always disappoint. And if you go into a relationship looking for someone to make you happy, you are placing an unfair expectation on someone else that they will never be able to fulfill.
Definitely.
And then therefore from that, because they're gonna fail from the expectation that you placed on them, sometimes without even telling them, it's gonna breed frustration and a lot of problems, because you've given me a job that I'm unable to do, and you didn't communicate that that's the job that you expect me to do, you know?
Yes. And it's like, and it's very fleshly, it's very lustful, it's very world-like to expect those things from someone. Because that's why I always see this quote go around, and this tweet go around that says, if the love failed, it wasn't really love, because love never fails. And no, that isn't true, because it's a world's love that fails, because our fleshly world's love is gonna fail, but what you should be referring to is God's love. When we're walking in God's love towards each other, that doesn't fail. Because if it's failing, then you're walking in a worldly love and a flesh, So just that dynamic. Okay, working on myself so I can bring more to the table. Definitely, it's definitely just bringing more to the table.
And a big thing, I think a really big thing these days that's preventing a lot of people from getting into relationships, and also that is preventing relationships from really flourishing, is what you just said now. People are getting into relationships for worldly reasons, and a lot of what the world is saying, if you look on Twitter and stuff, according to Twitter, it's cool to have a girlfriend and like
a side chick
and a couple of side chicks. It's cool to be it's you know what I mean? It's cool to be a chick who's pretty and who hooks up with a married guy, and he gives you money
and allowance
and a girlfriend allowance, and you live lavish. And you live lavish from his money, and you can still live your best life. That's what's cool according to the world. So a lot of people subscribe to that, unfortunately, and that's why at this day and age, relationships aren't working out, and people are just subscribing to worldly values, basically.
And the thing is, it's like they're looking for, again, that validation, that that love from somebody else to fill a void that you haven't filled yourself. So you're like, I'll take it wherever I can get it. It's like, okay, I'll get attention from him, so I just want to be with him. Standards gotta be, gotta raise your standards. And in order for us to raise our standards, we have to have worked on ourselves yet, because you can't be you can't be expecting a certain type of woman or a certain type of man, but you aren't even on that level. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Exactly.
You like what are you bringing to the table? Because now you have, say, an independent woman, and she you have now an independent woman, and then now it's like you trying to come to the table, but you aren't even an independent man. And it's like,
sure.
It's like you can't even take care of yourself, but now you want a shorty, like, to depend on you. Nah, man, step up your game. Our standards. And like I said, in order for us to work, for us to raise our standards, we have to know what we bring to the table, because you can't be out here expecting certain things, but you are lacking. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're lacking. The thing is, like, now we're building successful, like, we're building healthy relationships, but now the thing is, we still have our careers, because the thing is, it's like, we can't focus every single day on trying to build a solid relationship. But I'm still like, okay, obviously being in a relationship takes effort, it takes time. So how like, I mean, the question is, how are we able to build a solid foundation while we're still now trying to build our career, and we're just getting started out into, like, maybe you're just fresh out of high school, or you're fresh out of college. How are you able now to build this successful career, but also build a solid foundation? Because obviously relationships start with a solid foundation. What would you say we should do to build, in your opinion, a solid foundation first?
I think to build a solid foundation, you could do what we did, which was start by being friends at first.
Yeah.
Because that should be the foundation of any relationship. You guys should be friends, best friends, essentially, first. That's where it should start, because that's a good foundation of friendship is a strong foundation, because from there, everything else can grow. So having a friend, or developing a friendship while you're still pursuing your goals and your dreams and your career is not going to be a burden to you, because a friend is someone who can actually is supposed to support you in the pursuit of your goals and dreams and career. So what the issue happens is when you are in a relationship with the wrong person, is then that the relationship becomes a distraction rather than a helpful aid to in your goals, you know.
Because
the
your friends
relationship
support
is
you.
supposed to support you. Yeah,
definitely.
Yes, but now what happens for the gents, right? They coming in, they listening now to this podcast. I know we have some group session family members that are thinking, you know what, listen, fam, you know what, I'm gonna approach as a friend. Now you get stuck in the friend zone. How do we become friends but not be stuck in the friend zone? How do we do that?
How do you guys do that?
Well, I think, you know,
How did y'all come out
there's
of
a
the friend
fine
zone?
line between approaching her and wanting to stay friends and approaching her with the intention of developing a stronger relationship, right? That takes you beyond the friend zone. So you as a man have to be really strategic.
Yeah.
With regards to how you approach
I agree with it so much.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not that difficult, to be honest. I feel like men just overcomplicate it because you guys are lazy to put the work in. But when you put the work in, the results.
Facts. Because, you know, the thing is,
Yeah.
like, I mean, personally for me, speaking from my experience, there has been no relationship. There's no woman that I know. Well, not no woman that I know, but I think like on that type of level where it's like I ever approached on a friendship thing. Like it was never like, yo, let's be friends, and then I'm gonna try get out of the friendship zone. It was always like direct. Like the minute I came in, y'all, you would know my intentions. You know my intentions.
Yeah.
I'm not here to sit around you on the sidelines as your homeboy. You know, hit me up to tell me about how your ex hit you up and now how y'all have. No, I'm not here for that, bro. No, I come in direct.
Yeah. You need to have self-respect.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. You can't approach her and like from day one be like, hi, I just want to be your friend. She needs to know that you're interested, but she needs to know that you care enough to build a friendship with her first. Because once you guys become friends, like I said to you, females are emotional beings. So we want to know that you care. So not really like, I'm not saying that you should really just like tell her, okay, yeah, let's just be friends. Yeah. No, you guys have to come to the agreement. If you guys aren't ready yet, let's start out as friends. Let's build this relationship. I didn't say to him, no, I just want to be friends. I said to him, I'm not ready for a relationship now. That doesn't mean let's just be friends, right?
Yeah.
I never said to him, let's just be friends. Never. But I said to him, I'm not ready for a relationship now. So the interest was there. Yet he decided he's still going to stick around as a friend. So you make that decision.
So was it more like a friendship or a situationship? Like, you know, okay, we in a relationship, but the name isn't there, or was it like a friendship? Was it really a friendship?
This is Twitter terminology.
Like for y'all who don't know what a situationship is it's a relationship without the name, the title. Like it's not like we call each other girlfriend and boyfriend. But listen, if you're going out with another woman, I'm gonna be mad. Or if you're gonna go out with another man, I'm gonna be mad. You know what I'm saying? So is it more like a situationship?
It got
was
to
it a
that
friendship?
point.
Okay.
It got to that point, but it really didn't start out that way. I mean, we saw each other once a month for the first 3 months
Yeah.
For the first 3 months of getting to know each other, we saw each other once a month, and I'm not even over exaggerating. He was shooting 2 shows at once, so his schedule was so busy. And me, with my personal trainer schedule, I work around other people's schedules, right? At the time. So it was just like we always clashed. We never saw each other.
Yes.
We had to like say, okay, in 3 weeks I will see you.
Yeah.
But I think at some point it actually became a bit of a situationship. But here's the thing. She was like, yo, she said to me, listen, we vibing and everything, but you still need to ask me to be your girlfriend. Otherwise, this thing is not like, it's not real. Like,
she wants an official.
Yeah. She was like, if you don't say like, yo, can you be my girlfriend? Like, if we don't have that conversation that makes it official, this is not official. So yeah, I think that's also important as well.
Yeah, ladies, this one's for you. Don't be afraid to tell him what you want, because sometimes he doesn't know. If I didn't say,
please,
you have to ask me to be your girlfriend, I probably still would have been in a situationship right now. So ladies, don't be like,
communicate.
Don't be scared. Tell him what you want.
Yeah.
Yo, but Caleb, what you said as well about making your intentions known from the get-go, that's actually not a bad, it's a good thing, I think, because what did T.I. say? T.I. said, make your intentions known or you're going to end up in the friend zone. So you have to make your intentions known because a lot of women also appreciate that honesty.
Yeah.
Because especially if she's a pretty girl, you must know that by the time you've approached her, she's been approached by other guys who have tried the nice guy card and tried this and that, and sometimes have been time wasters. So if you make your intentions known from the get-go, a lot of women appreciate that, because it's like, okay, cool, he's straight up with me, he's honest from the get-go, this is what he wants. Cool, if I'm ready for it, I'll let him know. If I'm not, I'll tell him, okay, cool, I dig your vibe, but for now, let's just take it slow and then see where it goes. You know what I mean? So
like basically you're talking, it's like we're chilling, we sing, like we single, but you're unavailable to the public. Like you're single, but you're unavailable to the public. Right? You know what I'm saying? Because we're working on
single,
something.
But not available to the public.
But yeah, man, just make your intentions known from the get-go and be like, okay, you know what, as much as, because the thing is, it's like, okay, you're building this career, but you want to be with the shorty. But I think, if you approach it and you're like, listen, I want to be with you, but like how y'all were saying, y'all had both busy schedules, but at the end of the day, you still made time for each other. And I think that's where effort comes in, because so many people, it's like, okay, you have like these work relationships or these school situationships. And it's like, okay, you're in this relationship at school. Like, let's say you have now a high school shorty. But the only thing that's truly been the foundation of y'all even seeing each other is because y'all both have to come to school. Y'all both have to be there. So that's what's keeping y'all together.
Yeah.
Now, when you're out of school, or like maybe you're out of college or you're working, whatever, now you have to make that effort, that time out for her, for him, and that's where you really truly see if someone, they into you, or it's just for the time being, to have someone to like lean on. But like but the question is, right, it's like, okay, we have you found the shorty, right? You found the shorty, but now, in your opinion, do you think there is the one? Like, is there such thing as the one? Like, girls, I found the one. Homies, I found the one. It's like, do you think there's like do you think there is the one, or do you think it's like something like, we have to develop into, like how do I know? Nah, I want to settle down with a shorty out of all the shorties I know.
Okay, so for me, I feel that you can't just meet someone and be like, yes, he's the one. I feel like, especially for females, we tend to over fantasize things because of fairy tales, right? Life is not a fairy tale, guys. So I don't think, like, when I met B, I didn't think he was the one. So to be honest, when someone just meets someone and they're like honestly, I have a friend who goes on one date and she thinks every guy is the one. So firstly, that's a red flag that she's not ready for a relationship. If you think that everybody's the one, you're just desperate, honey. Sorry, not sorry. Can't mention your name now.
But I think I know who you talking about, like low key. But like the thing is, it's like
no.
Okay. But it's like, but the thing is, it's like, you know, it becomes infatuation. You know, it becomes like a thing of now. It just it's not like a true.
I do, however, believe that there is a person that God has destined for you, but he will not reveal it to you unless you are connected to him, which is God, not the person. And he won't reveal him to you unless you are ready, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. So that's my answer.
Because like, okay, now I found the one, right? God showed me, okay, this is the one you're supposed to be at, right? Let's bring it back to you're a young adult. You're a young adult, you found the one. Because statistics show, hey, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like, I read something that said that 80%, there's an 80% chance, right, that you met the person you're going to marry before you turned 18. Before 18, most likely that you'll marry, like you met the person you're going to marry, right? So say now, okay, I found the one, you know, I pray about it. God's like, yeah, boy, go at it, boy. That's your wifey, you know? And it's like, okay, now I'm just getting into this, you know, starting out my career, you know, maybe, I don't know, I'm a soccer player or I'm a producer, whatever the case is, an actor. But now it's like, what would you say to people who are just starting out to build now successful careers, right? But they found the one now. What advice would you give them, you know, to maintain a successful career as well as still build a relationship with somebody and that friendship, that bond?
I'd say you have to have balance, firstly, because every aspect of your life requires a certain percentage of you, right? Put God first and the rest balance. So work time, bay time, personal time, spiritual time, right? Everything needs to be balanced. Then with regards to you being in that relationship, you need effective communication. Now, these are things that we don't always get right ourselves, but these are things that we are a lot better at now, being 2.5 years into this relationship, than we were when we started. So effective communication is a big one. B touched on it a bit earlier, not having like unrealistic expectations. Like, I expect him to make me happy when I'm feeling sad.
Definitely.
You know? So that's another one. I don't know if you want to add.
Yeah, like I think it goes back to what I said earlier about you'll realize, I mean, it speaks to both things about balance. The balance is definitely key when you're juggling pursuing your goals and dreams in a career and as well as a relationship. You've got to be able to have balance in order to give enough time to everything, to nurture the relationship as well as work on your skills or whatever it is that your dream requires. But it goes back to what I said earlier about if you are in I want to use the word constructive. I'm not sure if that's the right adjective to use, but if you're in a relationship that is again based on a good and pure friendship, the balance will be easy because the person that you're in a relationship with while doing your goals and dreams will be there to actually support you, will be there for you to bounce ideas off, will be there to encourage you when you have days when you feel when you don't feel as motivated as other days. But in the same way, if you are in a relationship with the wrong person, or you in like what we spoke about earlier, someone who is in a relationship with you because they need validation or they need you to make them happy and they need you to just pour into them the whole time. If you're in that kind of relationship, you're going to find yourself, the scale being imbalanced, because now you're going to find yourself being drained because you're constantly pouring into one section of your life and neglecting the other. And then that relationship becomes a distraction to your career and your exactly. Then it becomes a distraction more than anything else to your career and your goals.
Yeah. You know, y'all really, but I have to say, like, y'all really changed a bit of my perspective, or you know, I think pointed out how important a friendship is. Because for me, it's always been like, okay, yes, because I'm a person that likes to state his intentions very clearly. Like once I'm in, y'all, like I'm not into. I have enough friends. I'm not looking for another friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, listen, you know, this is my intention. But you know, I think it's so important to develop that, you know, that friendship, and to the point where like y'all are like best friends, and now you get to date your best friend. You know.
And it's that like that solid foundation, you know.
Yeah. And the thing is, like B was saying, when you're going through a tough time in your career, right? Your best friend is the person who knows you the most, and that person will always cheer you on, right? Your best friend is normally your biggest hype man. So when you're not experiencing you know, good times with regards to your career, your hype man is always gonna push you to go on, right? So that means that your career will not just end up being a failure, it will actually end up being amazing, because this person will not allow you to quit. This is your best friend, right? So so in like with regards to being in a relationship and having a successful relationship or a fruitful relationship and having a successful career, I think it goes hand in hand. You know, yes, you can become super successful, but you neglect having relationships with other people because you've just focused, you had tunnel vision on the success of your career. But I feel like you are more powerful when you are in a relationship with someone and you are successful, because that shows a lot about you as a person. It doesn't just show that you are amazing in your specific industry, but it also shows that in general you are an amazing human being, because you are able to juggle so many things yet still be successful in, you know, whatever your pursuit of happiness is.
Wow. I'm gonna drop a bomb in post edit for sure. I'm dropping a bomb on that. Please. But I mean, like, you know, for me personally, it's like I love my routine. I love what I do, my work. I have a routine going. So for somebody to come along and had to add them into that routine, it really has to be somebody special. And one thing is, I loved how Drake used the analogy of how he's like a captain of a ship, right? And when he looks behind him, he sees people on board, his team on board, the people who rely on him on board, behind him on board. And for him to bring somebody with him, she has to be a shorty that's going to be next to him, helping him steer this ship and moving forward, and not wanting to get off because she's feeling seasick, you know, and it's like holding you back. Oh no, you're not giving me enough attention. You're not, you know, you're not around enough, because you aren't being that supportive person in your partner's life, you know. And you really need somebody who's gonna add value and not drain and take from you and take your time, and like obviously but that's why we speak about how important it is for us to have that full cup. You can't pour from an empty cup. So that's why we got to work on ourselves. And I think if you are both have that mindset,
and that comes in when you and that's like when you invest in your relationship and things like that. That's like how you fill your cup, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it
Yes.
goes back to what I was saying about the balance, you know, because yeah, there are going to be days like we also experience that where I feel neglected and I'm like, you're working so much, you're not giving me attention. And like, tip to the guys, every single woman likes attention from you, right?
Yeah.
And affection. That's a tip to all of you guys up in here. So there are days where I'm like, okay, I need some attention, you know, and it would just be like 10 minutes sitting together, him holding me, rubbing my thigh, or whatever the case may be. That is attention and that helps, you know. But if you just shut her out and you say, no, I'm busy, you know, it's just going to make that relationship miserable. So you need to compromise, and you also need to have that balance. You need to make time for each other, even though, yes, you are so focused on achieving success in your career. You need to make sure that you still, you know, are there for that person you are in a relationship with. And the same, it's vice versa. You know, when I get super busy, he also sometimes feels neglected, right? And I have to be like, okay, you know what? Actually, I haven't spent so much time with him, so let me give him some attention. You know, it's balance, you guys, and it's not always like. This goes out to all the women listening. Don't feel like a nag. It's communication skills, right? Also your delivery. Tell him, listen, I'm feeling a bit neglected. Do you mind like just spending a few minutes with me? We could do something, watch a movie, whatever, talk, go for dinner, you know? But it doesn't necessarily be, it doesn't need to be like, okay, spend days with me, take me on a trip to Dubai. You know?
That is an added benefit though.
No doubt.
But yeah, you just need to be able to compromise and adapt.
Sure. Like because I mean, not every single day both of y'all will be able to go 50-50. You know, there's going to be days where he can only go 30% and you will have to like go the extra mile, you know, cover that 70%, you know? So it's where like, okay, I understand. Yeah, because not every single day can we put our whole heart into something. But like you said, you know, just having that support there, you know, just having that support, I think it's really, really good for a man. Someone once told me that having a girlfriend or having a boyfriend will keep you out of a lot of trouble. Having a girlfriend will keep you out of a lot of trouble, you know. And then you're not in places where you shouldn't be, or around people you shouldn't be, you know, just jumping from girl to girl to girl to girl. But you know, you come home to a wifey, you know, and it's like, you know what, listen, I worked hard, and now I'm able to come home to a man or you know, my wife or whatever. So it's just that. But it's great. I love how you say it's like it's so important, that balance. Like, yes, we understand that it's not gonna be an easy road. It will be a bumpy road, but still having that balance. And yes, we will get busy, but still having that balance to set aside that time for her or for him, you know. So you know, these are conversations, you know, like as we come to a close, it's just like these are the type of conversations we need to have out here. Like I've said before, in order for us to move forward, we have to have uncomfortable conversations. You know, so many people, they don't want to speak about certain, you know, like where they at or their view on relationships. Like, you know, this even, I mean, just us all speaking about being in a relationship, I know right now, like even with the Group Sessions family listening, it has opened their mind to, okay, how am I viewing my future partner? How am I holding back from getting into a relationship because I'm so focused on my career? Is my ideology like a bit clouded? But it's so important that we have these type of conversations with our partners, with ourselves, and we're honest with ourselves. Like, you know what? Okay, like you said just now, you were honest with yourself. You were honest with him. Like, look, dude, I'm working on myself and I'm not looking for a relationship right now, you know? So, so just make sure that
I think honesty and communication is very important. And I think, we've covered both of those topics already before in podcast, and how we said that honesty is the best policy, you know?
Yeah. Honest with yourself.
And I think also just another important thing, if I can just go back to what you said, earlier, Caleb, about the analogy that Drake used about if a girl's gonna come onto the ship, she can't be like trying to get off because she's seasick and stuff like that. I think that speaks to also an important factor, which is compromise. Because what you said earlier rings true for me as well. I'm also a person who likes their routine, and I love what I do. And when I'm like prepping for a role, I'm like I tend to just like cut everything else out. You know what I mean? Like I'm just so super focused on finding the character and finding who this person is and finding the best way to play this character, and that can often isolate me without intentionally doing so. And sometimes she's made me aware of it, where my life goes into an imbalance because all my energy is just focused on preparing for this role. And so it's important to have compromise, because either way, like whether you don't want anyone to disturb your routine now, your routine's gonna be there in like 4 or 5 years anyway, and you're gonna have to allow someone to interrupt that routine. So that's gonna take compromise. Yeah, adapting as well. So either way, at some point you're gonna have to adapt and compromise, and also a lot of understanding is going to have to come into play from both parties, where she's very understanding that when I'm shooting something like a big role, or I have an audition for a potentially huge role, all my focus and energy is going to be on that, so that I can get the job done as best as I can. But after that, I'm definitely going to come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's like a rapper or a producer going on tour. Like, yo, let me go do what I have to do. It's for a temporary period, but I'm gonna come back, and we can have that balance again, whatever it is. So yeah, man, I think it's just about understanding and compromise.
Yeah, and like also within that, you have that communication aspect where it's like, okay, listen, like, I don't know, you text your shorty and say, listen, babe, I'm not gonna be able to communicate as well today, text as well today, because I'm really busy. Just like also that communication where it's like, listen, I'm gonna be busy. And then when she knows or he knows that, listen, I'm gonna be busy for the next week and I'm busy on this project, but still that communication and, like you say, that understanding and that compromise, like, listen, I want to see her succeed, I want to see him succeed, we're both trying to build an empire, and this is what we jointly decided that this is what we want to get into, so this is what it's going to take. And if we really want to be together, these are the sacrifices I'm going to have to make, to build a successful career. And we're trying to build empires out here, guys. We are trying to build empires together. I mean, that Jay-Z, Beyonce type of thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, building empires together, securing this bag together. And I think it's important, like, if you're listening to the session right now, take notes where you can, and be like, okay, how can I apply compromise to my life? How can I apply how, you need to work on yourself as well in order for the relationship to work? There's so many points. But look, we, in conclusion, I could definitely say is that we all need to first work on ourselves so we can bring the best to the table, so we know what we bring to the table. Don't lower your standards, because once you have the right to be picky when you know what you bring to the table. So set your standards. So set your standards. And I think what I've learned from the two of y'all today is not being hesitant to get into a relationship. Like, yes, it'll come with its complications, like y'all have spoken. Definitely. But I think not being hesitant to get into it, because that has always been me. Because I always viewed relationships as distractions when it comes to my career. So I guess we just gotta really look. I mean, I guess we can. It's gonna come with complications, but I guess it's worth a try. Because I mean, one thing is, it's like, if you don't take the risk, you're gonna forever regret it. Because imagine it's like, no, dude, you thought like, no, this is the one for me, or he's the one for me, but now you were so focused on your careers, but you didn't want to take the risk. And now years later, when you've reached that status where it's like, okay, I got my degree, or I'm on top, but now I have nobody to share it with. And, or maybe I do, but it isn't the one that I wanted to share this with, you know? So I think just taking that risk, you know, to go out there and but focus on our careers, but as well, we can rule out that you can be in a relationship while building a successful career. I think we got to the bottom of that. But look, we just want to say thank you so much to you guys for coming on here and sharing your views on this and using, you know, your life story and your testimony of your relationship. I mean, it's so beautiful the way y'all are building successful careers and y'all are still, you know, holding each other down. So y'all are a great example to everybody, to every one of your followers and to the people who surround you. And we just want to say thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to more sessions like this. We got to do more because so much needs to be spoken about and just people, because the minute you speak about it, you are aware about it. And then you can move to, okay, how can I prove this, you know, area in my life? So we just want to say thank you to so much to y'all. And to the group sessions, thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for tuning again in for another session. Go follow Shantal and Bohang on social media. Bohang is at Bohang Moeko, and then Shantal, it's slim.shanti. Am I right?
Yes,
as a social media. Go follow them. Go, you know, go get some of those booty workouts. You know, summer soon. You gotta be ready for when you're out of lockdown. Gotta be ready. Go get your booty right. You know, the acting, bruv. Like if you want to get into acting, bruv, I you know, I don't know, follow Bohang, you know, and give some tips. But thanks so much. Also follow us on social media at the Group Sessions Pod on Instagram and on Twitter at Group Sessions. We'd love to engage with you this whole week. Moving forward, we're going to be engaging with y'all around this topic, talking about what are your views and how have you been able to maintain your relationships while building your successful careers, because we're all succeeding. We are building empires out here, but we're also, like we're building solid relationships as well jointly. But thank you so much, guys. And we are out. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yay, love y'all, man. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.